Should the Chiefs fire offensive coordinator Matt Nagy? Let's talk about it, Chiefs Kingdom. You guys are listening to the KC Sports Report. My name is Michael Darcy. Hit that like button on this video and subscribe to this channel for more of the best daily Chiefs content on YouTube. And with that being said, let's go ahead and dive right into today's video topic. And that's if the Kansas City Chiefs should fire offensive coordinator Matt Nagy. Now, I will say that whenever the Chiefs lose a big game, whether it's an AFC Championship game or a Super Bowl, there's a large portion of the fan base that is so upset that the team lost that they try to put blame in different areas. And sometimes that blame is absolutely warranted, and other times it's not. And so a lot of people were saying that after this blowout loss to the Eagles in Super Bowl 59, that Matt Nagy should be fired. The offense wasn't good enough. The offense was predictable. They didn't have a good game plan. While I understand the frustration with that, I actually don't think that the offense is Matt Nagy's fault. Andy Reid, at the end of the day, has his hands all over this offense, and he's the one that's making the final call. He is the one that is making the big decisions on third and fourth down, and Matt Nagy is more of an assistant to the head coach, someone that helps out with play calling occasionally, but I have a hard time, believing that Matt Nagy is drawing up the X's and O's of this offense. Now, he might have suggestions every now and then, but Andy Reid is the true mastermind behind the Chiefs offense. Now, with that being said, I could see a world in where the Chiefs want to get maybe some younger youth in that coaching staff, maybe some different people with different ideas. I think that could be very beneficial. But again, I will say that after the Chiefs lose a big game, they want to see people fired, whether it was Eric Bieniemy in 2021 against that Bengals team in the AFC Championship game, or Andy Reid has been getting a lot of comments like Chiefs fans want to fire Andy Reid, which is insane to me. Like, after just losing this game, they're already ready to say, Andy Reid, we've seen enough. So you can't listen to those people in the fan base. But at one point, we all wanted Steve Spagnuolo to be fired. Like, this is years ago, but this is just what coaches have to deal with. At one point, someone is going to want to see them get fired. And that's kind of what we're going through right now with Matt Nagy. But with all that being said, I do think that you could probably get better at the position. You could go get someone that could maybe inject some new life, some new philosophy into this offense. And while Andy Reid ultimately has the final say so, I don't think that Matt Nagy is someone that really helps this offense like someone, like an Eric Bieniemy did, or someone else. But also, Eric Bieniemy had prime Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill and Patrick Mahomes. So, that's why those offenses were so much better. And also, Matt Nagy has had to adjust to the way that defenses are defending Patrick Mahomes. Like back in 2018, 2019, when Bieniemy was the OC, they could kind of do whatever the hell they wanted to do offensively because Patrick Mahomes was so gifted. They had the speed, they had the talent, and they couldn't really figure out a way to stop us. In 2024, defenses have completely changed the way they defend the Chiefs. And so their offense became a lot more one-dimensional. It was basically just short passes, those checkdowns. Let's just move the chains, control the football, and we're going to end up winning. And Matt Nagy's teams, they won a lot of games, but they lacked that offensive explosion. But I'm not sure how much of that is due to Matt Nagy's play calling or ideas or just the lack of talent on the offense. I mean, I think there's a very good argument to be made. They just don't have the talent that they used to, very, very clearly. But I will say, I think that Matt Nagy is someone that if they did end up letting him go to go get someone else, like a Doug Peterson who got fired in Jacksonville, that wouldn't be the worst case scenario because you're at least trying to turn this coaching staff over and, get some new life in there. But for all the people saying we should fire Matt Nagy, which I'm not going to jump you for, I'm kind of in the middle. I can see both sides. I'll say this, offensive line coach Andy Heck has had multiple guys just completely flop under his coaching. Talk about Kingsley Suamataia, Wanye Morris. The offensive line has been in shambles for really a couple years now, and he gets all the praise when they're good, but he doesn't get a lot of the criticism when they suck. And they've sucked in 2 Super Bowls. And while that has been, due to some of the lack of talent on the field, I do think you could argue that he has been not great at developing players. I mean, you want to go down the list of tackles the Chiefs have drafted, whether it's, Lucas Niang or Kingsley Suamataia or Wanye Morris or Kennard. The Chiefs have spent not high resources, but they've drafted enough tackles and none of those guys panned. Like, at what point is that the offensive line coach's fault? So for all the people saying that we should fire Matt Nagy, again, I'm not going to jump on you for that take, but I do think that it's not just as easy as firing Matt Nagy and this offense is going to get better. Now, you might be wondering, how is this offense going to get better and what's their current issue? I'll tell you that on the other side of this ad break. The Hollywood Casino at Kansas Speedway is the place to be. With over 1,500 slot machines, 35 table games, 4 restaurants, and a new ESPN Bet sportsbook, there are plenty of ways to find your fun. For more chances to win, follow them on social media on Facebook, Instagram, and X. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Welcome to the Rice Real Estate Group, Kansas City's premier partner in real estate. Whether you're buying, selling, or investing, you'll receive a tailored experience designed just for you. Specializing in residential, commercial, and investment properties, the dedicated team over at the Rice Real Estate Group helps guide you through every transaction, including navigating those short, complex sales. With a commitment to personal one-on-one service, they will ensure that you are supported every step of the way. You can achieve your goals with expertise, care, and a customized approach that truly makes a difference. Ready to make your next move? The Rice Real Estate Group is here to make it happen. For more information, call 816-819-9333. Shout out to all the sponsors that support me through this offseason as we build this Chiefs team back up brick by brick. Now, getting back into the video topic and giving my explanation as to how this offense is going to improve, the Chiefs have gotten away with pretty much restricting Patrick Mahomes' talent. Like, we have won Super Bowls over the past 2 seasons by playing a very boring offensive style. The Chiefs have just been able to move the chains and do enough, and they haven't had a running game, and the receivers have been garbage cans for the most part, whether it's Sky Moore or MVS or Justin Watson is a key contributor on this team. Like, the Chiefs have gotten away with having subpar talent at wide receiver, at running back, really all over the offense, and Patrick Mahomes has used that and still won championships. And so they have kind of taken away from his greatness because Patrick Mahomes is at his best when he's throwing a deep ball to Xavier Worthy, or he is, able to throw across his body and do the great things that we saw the first 5 or 6 years of his career. We haven't seen that recently. And I don't think that's Matt Nagy kind of holding him back. I just think that they don't have the offensive explosiveness to really be, competitive. Like, you look at the Eagles, that offense is explosive. You look at the Buffalo Bills, that offense, incredibly explosive. The Chiefs have made it a habit to do just enough offensively to win. And when you've got Patrick Mahomes at quarterback, that's unacceptable. That is completely unacceptable. When you have 15 on your team, there is no reason that you were ever just scraping by. That is a just tragedy. Like, I cannot believe that. So Brett Veach is going to have to go out and get more talent, get more receivers that can kind of help him, be back to Patrick Mahomes in 2018, be back to the guy that won MVP just a couple of seasons ago. And so to kind of bring it back to Matt Nagy, I don't think that he's going to end up getting fired. I'm not against it if he does. Because I think that, again, you could bring in some youth in this coaching staff. You could bring in some guys with different ideas. But I think that Matt Nagy is probably going to be here for the long haul. But again, I don't think that he is the issue right now. I think that the issue that you saw in Super Bowl 59, the team wasn't prepared. The offensive line was a mess. And a lot of the guys that were going to be killers in this game, DeAndre Hopkins, he's old, he's washed. Travis Kelce, I love the guy. He's the greatest tight end ever. He looked slow. He looked just lethargic out there. And, the best player in that game for the offense was rookie Xavier Worthy. So, like, get that speed, get that youth. You're going to get that back with, Rashee Rice next season. But I think that the offensive's lack of explosion has been an issue, and it's why the Chiefs have struggled. And so, to kind of bring it all back, I don't think that Matt Nagy is going to be fired as the offensive coordinator. I wouldn't hate it if he was, but Andy Reid is loyal to his guys at a fault. We saw this with Bob Sutton a couple of years ago before he brought in Spags. Bob Sutton had his job in Kansas City for way too long. And I think that you can win a Super Bowl with Matt Nagy as the OC. They've shown that they can do that. The issue that I see is you don't have the explosiveness on offense. And so it's easy to look at Matt Nagy and say, why haven't we been better? Why is our offense stale? Truth is, we don't have a running game. Truth is, we don't have any wide receivers, outside of two that are really worth anything. And the best player, arguably, in this franchise's history as a receiver, he's hurt, or he's not hurt. He's just old. Like, he's just getting old. So I think this team needs more talent. I think that they're very close to being at that point. They just got to keep building it up. So Chiefs Kingdom, that is my thought on this matter. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Should the Chiefs fire Matt Nagy, or should they keep him? Would you like to see someone else? And if you do, who is that guy? Because again, Doug Peterson, there's some other options out there. Maybe a former failed Chiefs head coach, or I guess former head coach somewhere else that failed, and he can come back and be an OC. But I think that Matt Nagy is probably going to have his job, at least in 2025. Thank you guys for watching. As always, hit that like button and subscribe for more daily Chiefs coverage. Until next time, guys, thank you for watching, and as always, go Chiefs.